Hello, I'm Nova SC, and I'm going to be casting one of my games that I played yesterday. It's quite a cool one I've played. The only reason I'm bringing to it is because there's a lot of good decision making from both parties involved in the game, and by parties I mean players, me the Prozos, and this here terran whose name is, that was quite a good transition, I appreciate that from myself, Splinter, from whatever this clan is, NGS. There's a big capitalized G, which probably means good, because he must be good, because he's playing against me. Fantastic logic there. On ladder, yeah, it's actually a diamond player, we're both in diamond. Even though I've been playing against quite a few masters, this is one of the, surprisingly one of the better games I've played of the day was against diamond. And we'll see why. Well, actually, it's arguable if it's good. You have to make your mind up yourself, whether you think this is good. So he's opening with his standard supply depot because he's boring as fuck. Like, so am I. I'm building a pylon, but this is an interesting position because I'm going to build a gateway here, which will wall off my back little passage. And that's the idea against that. The idea of that is just to prevent Reapers and Hellions from moving around so freely. I actually started doing this ages ago, like midway through Wings of Liberty, when people started doing Hellion rushes, like 4 Hellions, and then into 1-1-1. So this is like classic. I've done this for ages. Damn, that was such a hard build to play against. Like the first time people played 1-1-1, I just couldn't comprehend how hard it was to defeat. Like it came, and I had like 5 units, and I was like, how can I beat 3 tanks, fucking 6 banshees? Well, not 6 banshees, 3 banshees, like endless numbers of marines with 5 units. I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard game. Slightly easier now with Photon Overcharge because you can delay it. It forces them to make a Raven, even though the Raven's really good anyway, so no reason not to make the Raven, but So I'm going for my Nexus first, into a 15 gateway, which gives me a Zealot just in time to deal with the Reaper. Well, not to deal with the Reaper, just to delay the Reaper so that I can get the Stalker out. Harassing this here sentry, this here SCV, and I'm just going to pause the game for a second, just for like 5 seconds. I'm not going to do it for 5 seconds exactly, but you know what I mean. Right. So my opponent has looked at this 15 Nexus. He actually scouted my main to see that it was before the gateway, and he has identified that I'm not going to have many units to deal with a bunker rush. Now, I don't think he was planning to do this before. I assume this is reactionary, because it's a nice choice. And a lot of people do make this decision, but actually I think the best way to deal with a Nexus first is to play really greedy yourself as Terran, getting upgrades faster, and getting maybe even a 3rd command center faster, because even if you're not going to drop it down here, you can pump out those SCVs a lot faster, which gives you a nice edge. It makes up for the additional strength of your opponent's army. But this has the disadvantage that you're going to see. It can do a lot of damage. It is quite a nice choice. Lots of people do opt to do this. Okay, so to deal with this first cannon, this first bunker, I send a few probes down just to make sure it's definitely cancelled, so it can't be continued later. In response to that, I think he just throws another one down, which is fine. At least it's not nearly as finished as the other one. So now I get a second gateway instead of a core. Why would I do that? Now, I'm actually going to have to pull probes to deal with this. And Stalkers don't actually have a very good DPS, but Zealots have a much better DPS. So I'm going to get those up to getting Zealots out faster. But Zealots aren't going to come in time, so I'm going to put all of my fucking probes. This looks really silly. And the reason I have to do that is because if I lose this Nexus, I'm slightly behind. I think, yeah, and he's going to have a nice contain on me, because he can just keep those bunkers and just be really annoying, and I'm going to lose a lot of scouting information. I send my probes, surround the Marines there, kill off a few SCVs. He gets 1 in because he's a bitch. Otherwise, this would have been a perfect defense. But unfortunately, I have to send my Zealot, keep the probes attacking, microing some of the probes to kill the SCVs. He's not getting any salvages off on this, which is a good thing for me. 3 bunkers is almost the command center, so this is a big investment he's losing here. Probes continue to attack. I've lost a whole 7 so far, which isn't actually a huge number. If I lose them all, 8, I lose 8. He actually lost 5 SCVs though. 6 SCVs. So he's lost 6 SCVs, I've lost 8 probes. And I have a Nexus. And I'm only 4 behind in probes here, in workers here, but I have 2 Nexuses, so I'm going to be pumping them out twice as fast. And this is where my double gateways count's going to kick in. Not sure why I haven't trained 2 extras. I think I must have cancelled them. I had them queued, but when this finished, I cancelled them to start my probes up again. But these are going to kick in now, because now that I have 2 gateways, I can start pumping out some certs to try and put pressure back on my opponent. I'll have a look up, see if he's light on the Marines. It's easy for a Terran to assume that I'm not going to have any units at this point, but it's hard. You've got to remember that a Zealot can take on 2 Marines quite easily. Players often leave just 2 Marines up here. Zealot walks in, I win, which is quite funny. Obviously, you can micro against the Zealot, but the Zealot gets quite a few pot shots off unless you micro absolutely perfectly, and it's harder than it looks. Microing 2 Marines against the Zealot, especially in the heat of the moment. And I'm going to be reinforcing with more Zealots, obviously, in that situation. Now I start my 2 Zealots, there we go. So I see this push coming out with the Zealot. I'm ahead by 5 probes. This is just 6 Marines. This is a common thing to do to force an overcharge. What I've done, actually, if you notice, I'm not actually mining any gas. Oh shit. I wasn't actually mining any gas, I just mined 100 for this mothership core and that's it. And I went back to minerals to get gateways and more probes out. So I need to keep up in economy. I just pulled all of my probes. That was fucking, how many probes was that? That was 25 probes against 7 Marines or something, 6 or 7 Marines. So that worked out really nicely. I don't think I even lost anything, wait. No, I lost like 2 Marines. I lost like 2 probes. That's hilarious. So I lost like 2 probes there. Against all those Marines. The mothership helped out a little bit, it's killed off 3 guys so far. And I'm sending out my 2 more Zealots. Unfortunately 1 got trapped, which is a massive mistake because 3 Zealots against what he has here is actually pretty big. It's going to prevent him from doing any sort of push out. But 2 Zealots are going to move in, just going to get a bit of a scout. I'm actually ahead by 7 probes at this point. And you've got to look think about what I'm thinking here. Consider what I'm thinking here. It feels awful in this situation because I haven't seen his economy. I know that he's not too far ahead because he's wasted a lot of money in these pushes out and he's spent a lot on bunkers, so he can't have an extremely fast third. But in my eyes, I think I might be slightly behind, so what I'm going to have to start doing is getting out gateways just to survive. I'm going to have to start rushing tech, cutting loads of corners, and absolutely not taking a third because I can't really risk that. It's a bit too dangerous. Because he could just be going for a follow-up all-in. I know these Zealots can't actually do any damage, so I'm just going to go for some guaranteed damage and follow this Marine around until it dies. I just thought that was funny. Obviously, straight after defending that push, I put guys back in gas because I wasn't too afraid of a push in the near future. I didn't need Zealots 100% right now. And there's my loads of tech in one go. I got the Robo, 2 Forges, and Twilight Camp, so I'm cutting loads of corners here. I'm not actually making any units. Photon Overcharge is in gear, so I'm going to be safe. And I see the third. Now, as I said, I feel like I'm slightly behind, but I'm actually ahead by improbes. So I could probably take myself a third. But in the heat of the moment, I didn't think quite as clearly as I should have. And I haven't taken this third, and this is one of the biggest mistakes I think I made in this whole game. He's got 15, 16 probes. If I took an expansion like immediately, I'm not sure if it was done in time. I can Photon Overcharge and survive. And if I walked into a few stalkers as appropriate. Got my 3 extra gateways in. I'm rushing all of my tech options, getting Storm and Colossus like pretty much at the same time. Still ahead by 7. And I think Income's still going to be favouring him because of meals though. Yeah. It's only slightly favouring him. So he's got this third base, but he's not too far ahead in economy. So maybe... actually the decision not to expand was actually quite smart, because I'm not even that far behind in economy. Okay, I sort of learned something here. I thought this was a massive disadvantage to me not taking a base, but I'm not things aren't too bad. Okay, cool. He doesn't even have gas here, actually, to be fair. So maybe taking a base would have been a bad decision. Interesting. But anyway, I'm getting my Colossus up. There's my Storm is going to be coming. I'm not going to get Archons or Templar. I'm just going to get, Templar for feedback. I'm just going to immediately start researching Storm. I need as much AoE as possible. Colossus is going to be coming in mighty soon. There we go, getting the range. +1/+1, charge, everything coming at the same time. Yeah, actually, this is quite cool. I haven't got a base. It's really easy to defend with the Photonova charge. If I had the base, then he could dart in here, dart in here. This way I can get all the tech I need for the mid to late game. Yeah, nice. Getting those 2 gases, so now this is definitely when I need to expand. And I did expand! Right. Okay. I sort of did better than I thought in the heat of the moment. Okay, this is fine. You remember that Zealot? Oh, this isn't going too well. How many did I kill there? Like 2? I think 2 SCVs there. You remember the Zealot here? I got a Warp Prism before Colossus to get that out, and then I dropped 4 Zealots down here, and then he had this. He had 4 missile turrets, which is insane. He had 5 missile turrets, and 1 in each mineral line. Holy tits! Right, that didn't really have a hope. So I got 1 Zealot in successfully and killed 2 SCVs. Got my observers. So they're just checking for bases. If he takes a 4th, then I can play even more greedily, otherwise I'm going to have to start investing in some big AoE units, which I am, making lots of Colossus. Got upgrades. Upgrades are favouring me, I think? Upgrades almost favouring me. Oh no, they're pretty much even. I think he's slightly ahead. No, he's slightly ahead in upgrades, but it should be fine. I have 2 Storms, I have 2 Colossus, I have Photonova charge, I have a ton of charge lots. Things are looking really nice now. He's definitely going to be ahead in economy now. Yep, definitely ahead in economy. He has mules and more gases. Equal number of gases now that I've added those 2 on. And now with my advantage in splash damage, I should need to make something happen so that I can take the lead again. But I have to be very careful for drops. From drops, he has nice juicy medevacs with loads of energy. Damn, if only I noticed that. If that observer looked at them, I'd just send some. I send a High Templar and kill all these off. Otherwise, never mind. Observer sees the 4th, so I want to take a 4th. Ideally here, it's probably the easiest place to. Oh, maybe here. Shit. Maybe I should have expanded here. And that place is really easy to drop compared to this place, because this place is really close to my attack path. This is my attack path. You want to expand down your attack path. So that's the best place. Yes, I like that decision. Unfortunately, he's going to drop the second I plant down that Nexus, which is really annoying because I didn't have the pylon there to defend it. Nice. Killing off that medevac so they can't escape. I think that was a nice sacrifice because you've not only killed the medevac, you've ensured that those units can't escape, so you've got a few more kills there. Nice. Units should be favouring him now. Yeah, by a few. By 9. So now he's started dropping. I've dropped down. And here is a big mistake I've made here. One thing, I'm not attacking with these Colossus. A second thing, I'm not paying attention to this drop. All I did was just move my probes away. Didn't really have any time to deal with the drop. Oh dear. Those Colossus weren't engaged with the army. And what I'd done here is I completely autopiloted and forgot the situation of the game when we really needed to conserve units. Usually when I do these sort of pushes, it's when I have Storm, when I have Colossus, when even if I lose my whole army I can trade cost effectively and I would have lost, my opponent would have lost more than me. But in the situation I don't have Colossus to fall back on, I didn't have High Templar, so in this situation I should have Storm. I didn't have any Templar waiting for me to defend this base. I think this was the major mistake that I made in hindsight. I should have all my splash damage close to this army, but no, I don't. I have some High Templar that I've just warped in. I have a DT. So that should be away. No. And that's really disappointing. So I'm on 2 bases to his 3. He could start moving into a 4th now, but I'm gonna try and keep up. I'm gonna try and survive. In this situation, I definitely need to double expand. Units. I'm down by 13, which is quite annoying. Wait, yeah, I'm down by 13, which is horrible. So I definitely need to double expand. Income's gonna be favouring him enormously. going to keep my splash damage. I'm making very little units other than High Templar and Colossus at this point because I need the cost-effective units. That was a whiffed storm, disappointing. So I'm not going to be able to really put any pressure on here. I need to stay back and defend with Storm and Colossus. So yeah, I know I should be going home. Why am I not? This is so dangerous. Oh, that's quite smart, sending a DT up. He just expanded there, so it seems likely that he's going to do that again. Nice. He moves away just as the DT goes in. Nice little shift Q there. Opponent's walking up in. He's got a nice number of Vikings. Far too many. I don't have nearly enough splash damage. Even Storm's not going to be able to kill that. And his macro has just overwhelmed me here. Fantastic Storms, but it's just not enough. He just has too much stuff. And his taking that third is pretty smart. It works out really nicely. Upgrades, he has got good upgrades as well. So, thanks to his superior upgrades, his more bases, it looks like he's going to win. I have my fourth moving on in, coming on in, but it's not enough. I just don't have the beef, and I control my units quite well, but it's not enough. And he played pretty good. As I like to say, that bunker was pretty terrible. The bunker rush at the beginning, I don't like that sort of stuff. I much prefer if you just went straight for the double upgrades, 3 bases. That seems much better, much stronger. But he played out really well, even after being slightly behind after the bunker rush in probes, in workers. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's quite a cool game. I hope you agree and you enjoyed that. I'll see you later. I'll hopefully bring you some more of these if I find some more games in my archive. Quite as entertaining as this, but yes, I'll see you later. Bye!